And we're live. Wait. Okay, now we're live. That's actually the secret clap that starts the camera.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
It's kind of a new feature.
Mm-hmm.
But so, Abby,
Yes.
welcome.
Thank you.
When you forced me to start this podcast, were you thinking that?
You're too funny. We got to get you in front of the people.
So, I do feel like as the most entertaining owner, let's introduce ourselves.
Okay. Not the
I'm your
entertaining
host,
one.
Trent. With me today is my guest, my very special guest,
Very special.
Abby Humphreys.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Mm-hmm. Well,
You work here?
I own part of it. I'm part owner. Was designer, now working more with the people in the business.
Integrator, they call it.
Integrator, yeah, they call me the integrator. Yeah, I'm married to Billy, who also works
What a
here.
guy. Does have a fever right now, though.
Day before Christmas break.
Yeah.
No big deal. Yeah, we have 3 boys, and that's it. Very
Wow. I'm
interesting.
so glad you're here. I can't wait to dig in. So when you had 2 boys, what did you think? We should have a third?
Nope. There was no plan of a third.
Oh,
But
no. I hope Elliot doesn't listen to this.
I know, but we love you, Elliot. If you are listening, he's the best. So.
Yeah. So we just went this weekend to Dallas
Oh my gosh, so fun.
for our homegirls, Cameron,
Yeah.
her wedding.
It was great.
It was so fun.
It was so fun. It was a great time.
We had a few sips.
A lot of dancing.
We busted out some dance moves. I don't know that I would call myself a prolific dancer, but other people have called me a prolific dancer. So,
No,
take it with a grain of salt.
You were great. It was very entertaining.
Yeah,
You
at
got
one
everybody
point,
out there.
Katie and I thought about starting a business where all we did was get the party popping.
Just go
Yeah.
wedding to wedding.
Yeah.
And just,
You just pay us and we'll come make sure the dance floor gets going.
yeah. I think it would be a really good business. Maybe that should be a section.
Maybe we
of
should
collective
shut down
living.
everything we're doing and just start doing that instead.
Yeah. Well, honestly, collected living, there were times when we were the only ones out there, and it was super fun.
Yeah.
I think we're a good dance team. Maybe that's what we
We're
should
a
be.
fun group.
Yeah.
Make sure you stay close to your mic.
Okay.
Thanks. You can move it to a better position. There you go.
Is that better?
Yeah. Yeah, Cameron kept saying, "That's my boss." And I'm pretty sure in a very endearing way.
Oh, yes. Not embarrassed at all, I'm sure. No, it was fun. We need to find a monthly or quarterly go out and dance.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's good for the demeanor.
Yeah, honestly, culture, that's a whole thing we could talk about. But
Yeah.
first of all, we are design build,
Mm-hmm.
interior design, remodeling, furnishings,
Design only.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
We do that. We've been in business for, I don't know, years now, 4 years, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we are growing. We are trying to keep growing. We're trying to hire. We're trying to manage. We're trying to set up processes.
Yeah.
And all the while, keep it a fun place to work.
Yeah. I feel like that's a hard balance because as it's growing,
What do you think is the hardest of those things if you had to put 2 back to back to each other? Like, what makes it hard?
it's hard because as you're growing, we're trying to build this business and we're trying to get a team that will really, I don't know, work well together, but they
Mesh.
also have to have certain skills, and then they also have to, mesh with our personalities. And I think it's just really hard to balance the growing and keeping your head in the game. And this is not just work. This is our life. Every single day we're here. So,
Well, it's what I guess I've kind of figured out, and it sounds really stupid to say, but if you grow the business, you're going to have to grow personally.
yeah.
You're going to have to
growing
grow in
pains.
your capacity and your knowledge base and all of those things. And so you can grow, and then you hire someone. Well, then you have to learn how to manage people.
Right. And then you're still growing, but it's almost like you take a step back a little
Yeah.
because that growth
You become an amateur again
Right.
in what you're doing.
Exactly. And they're kind of amateurs, I mean, in our business, as they're
Yeah.
so it's like the cycle. Every time we hire someone new, it feels like we kind of start over and then have to regrow.
And we love you all,
Yes, we do.
but
We wouldn't have it any other way. But but it's hard. I mean, it's growing pains. That's why they
Yeah.
call it that. And it hurts sometimes. But then whenever you get on the other side, you look back and you be like, look how far we've
do
come.
you think it's like that's the sweet spot of like we have just enough people and just enough work is like a myth?
I think so. Because I think once, like, it's funny because we think, okay, our team is what it needs to be. We have a couple little spots where we're like, okay, we could hire for these couple spots, but we're like, then we'll be there. And then I just have a feeling like if you arrive, then are you going to start growing faster? And then people are like, there's more people that are wanting our services. And they're like, well, do we just keep them at arm's length and just grow at this? I don't know. I think it's our choice. But at the same time, if you have people asking to be hired and you have a lot of people wanting your services, it's hard to, I don't know. We haven't had that yet.
Well, the other big challenges we've got, like, let's say we have 2 or 3 jobs happening at a time. If we kind of have somebody slotted for that and then they say no, or they change their mind, or something happens, they lose their job, whatever it is, it's not like we have 100 jobs and we lose one. We're losing like 30% of our revenue if one person changes their mind.
Right.
So it's like we need to have a backlog of people that can start whenever we want to.
Yeah.
And we're ready to start whenever they want to.
Right.
And
how do we get to that point? I don't know. I do think we have some growth that needs to happen before we could even think about expanding or doing anything, because we need to get to a point. I think the reason you expand is you get to a point where you're like, I can't move forward. I can't keep going unless we expand or unless we're just, we were at that point. And so we hired people, and now we're like, okay, we need to, it's kind of like fill those shoes a little bit and grow into this team fully, and then kind of see what happens here. I don't know.
yeah, and all the while keep the culture up, which is a whole nother, like, feels like a totally separate agenda that
But
has to happen.
Equally as important.
Well, and like we don't, it's like, it sounds cheesy to say, like, well, we got to manage the culture is important. But like for us to enjoy it, the culture needs to be good.
Right.
It's
And-
like also a very selfish thing too.
Well, that's the reason you have a business.
I know.
is to
But I'm
enjoy
just
it.
saying it's not like we're sitting here like so holy and like,
No.
well, we care about the culture
Yeah.
and the people. Moira Rose.
Moira.
The babies.
It's like every other day we're quoting Schitt's Creek. It's
Yeah.
fine.
But I'm just saying, like, we care about the culture because we want people to enjoy their jobs and love to work
Right.
here and have good relationship with our customers, but also like for our own sanity.
Yeah.
You want it to feel good. You want to enjoy coming to work. I think we all at some point had a job. Laurie was a nurse. I was an engineer. You were an accountant. That like we didn't love. And it
And I told
was
myself
like,
I will not do this.
yeah, like soul sucking. And so then it's like, well, we don't want to just recreate that
No.
where we
But
have this
I
soul
see
sucking
why
place.
businesses get to that
Yeah.
point, because it's like there are deadlines that have to happen. There are things that need to go. There's stress constantly, and it's like so easy to fall into that. And then you put these processes into place thinking, oh, we're making processes to make our lives easier. But then you become like a slave to processes. So it's like finding that kind of middle ground where we have processes that are useful only, not extra crap that we're doing. And then we also have, they're enjoying the work, and it's a hard balance. We're still working on that and like constantly growing that.
Tell me your like backstory, how you got here, how you got to the point where we're doing this thing together. Where did you come from? How did you start?
So I started, it was like 2015. I started a small, just me, interior design. Billy was working all the time. So I was like, I need something for me. And so I called it redesigning. And I would go to people's houses and like for pennies move their stuff around and like go shopping and style it and make it look nice. And it was mostly my friends or people that, you know, just I knew, word of mouth, whatever. We would talk to our different friends and be like, will you help me? So that's how I started. And then I started growing slowly, very, very slowly. And then I got pregnant with Elliot thinking I was done. And I decided I can't keep doing this. Well, I met Laurie and they like were going to market and kind of starting to grow at that point. And I was at this point where I was like, I think I'm done. I don't know that I want to do a business. I'm just another baby. I don't know if I can do 3 children and that. And so, but watching it start a different avenue, because I wasn't making a lot of money. It was just really, I mean, it was just a lot of work. And so then
that could be like the tagline, I feel like, of every small business.
Yeah.
It was just a lot of work.
It was just a lot. It took a lot of time to get to a point where I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, this is worth it. But no, after we like started working kind of side by side, we got this place and we were doing furnishings. You guys were doing renovations, and we were doing so many things side by side, and like the areas that you guys needed assistance with.
Yeah.
I felt like Collected Living at the time was doing pretty well in, and vice versa. So I don't know.
Do you look back at yourself and just feel like you were a baby that knew nothing?
Oh my gosh. A baby.
Because I do.
100%. And I think now, and I'm like,
You
think of all
stupid baby.
think of all the growth just in the last like 2 years. It's crazy. I do. I look back and I laugh because it was that fake it till you make it, which is another like tagline I feel like for small businesses. You just do what you got to do. And I remember sweating, asking for like $1,000, and I was just like, oh my God, I'm gonna ask for $1,000. So no, I feel like we've grown a lot, and now it's like, why do we charge what we charge? Well, because we've learned a lot over the last however many years, and I feel like confident in our processes, in our people, and I feel like we can really make people's homes beautiful, but also like the process is like it's smoother, you know, than what we did 2 years ago.
Yeah. Sorry, this is totally off track, but I went to Mizzou. There's 2 high schools in Columbia, Rockbridge and Hickman. Is that right? Anyway, one of them, the mascot is the Cupies, which is like a naked baby.
Why though?
So they would say like, "Go naked, baby," like a Cupid, but it's like a Cupid doll.
Why? Why would you have that be your mascot?
I have no freaking idea. If anybody knows the history, comment below.
Seriously.
Yeah, I had some friends that went there.
Huh.
You know,
little babies.
Hard to like really rally behind.
I know, a naked
mascot.
Baby. What did the mascot look like?
It looked like a Cupid. Like it looked like a baby with a diaper.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought pirates were bad. That's what we are.
No, yeah, that's
why pirates?
Way worse.
Yeah, I would not want to be a naked baby.
Yeah. Anyway, that's an aside. So we've been doing the business. We've been figuring things out. Mm-hmm. You're always harping on me. Such a monkey on my back.
I'm not even apologize.
About processes.
Yeah.
Why?
Because if you've noticed in the last couple months, when there is no process written down, put on paper, people can refer back to, then it's all just in your head.
Yeah, I know. But even if there is a process, it's still hard.
It is. But I look at like Lane with ordering and all of the things we're doing. We've had a process in place for a while, and it's not a headache as nearly as much as lacking processes. Like before we had that process, we'd be questioning, well, who's doing this? Or has this been ordered? Or what? Like, but that process has been, I mean, we've refined it, but we've had that for at least like 3 years. And that was one of our first ones that we put in place. It was pretty easy. I mean, it was easier to put in place than some of the renovation stuff, but it was the same kind of issue. It was like pulling information from someone's head to get it to where multiple people can look at it and know what's going on.
I just feel like it's like forget everything that made you successful in the first 2 years.
Yeah.
And stop doing everything that worked.
Well, no, it's
because it is like what worked is
Yeah.
I do everything myself.
Right.
I own everything. I
Right.
trust no one. I do it all. I keep it all in my head. I do everything. It's all on me.
Mm-hmm.
I put the team on my back, though. Greg Jennings.
But you were like dying.
Yeah, I know.
So
It's not sustainable,
no.
but it is hard to convince my stupid brain that
Mm-hmm.
like that's better because it's just like hiring. You break stuff when
Right.
you do it.
Right. Well, and the thing is, the reason it feels so hard, I think, with what you were doing is honestly, you were doing like 3 different jobs. And now we're pulling every single job out at the same time and trying to make processes for 3 different jobs. Like that's.
Are you saying that there's a better way to do what we've done?
Yeah, I'm thinking we should have baby stepped over the naked baby and like go like one at a time. Maybe we should have started with, project
maybe the
management.
Cupid should be our new mascot.
Maybe. Oh my God, that's a great plan. Let's have this Cupid. So I'm sure Laurie would be on board.
Yeah.
But like maybe we should have started with just the project management and ease into that one and get that process down.
I know, but are you the type of person to like dip your toe in the pool?
No.
It's going to be painful.
Rip the Band-Aid off. What did you say? And we're just like hemorrhaging.
Yeah.
It's fine. No, and then you just figure it out. I feel like a good example was with designers. Like me and Laurie had been doing it all of ourselves.
Laurie and I.
Laurie, whatever. I don't have good grammar. And then we hired Cameron and we're like, here you go.
Yeah.
She figured it out, but it was painful.
So I ran the 300-meter hurdles in high school.
I did the 200-meter hurdles.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
District champ. So
Okay, I wasn't that good.
Anyway, my brother-in-law Tim was a couple years older than me. He also ran the hurdles, but he ran at Mizzou, so he was a lot better than me.
Yeah.
But he told me it's like a very tiring race, and by the end you're always exhausted. And people talk about pacing and trying to like, have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
But he said you're going to be tired at the end no matter how fast you start.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's true in a lot of things in life. Like
Yeah.
It's going to be hard. It's going to be tiring. It's going to feel chaotic. No matter how hard you like try to
Ease yourself
just ease
through
in
into
and
it. Yeah,
like,
I think you're right.
so is it better to just do it and just try really hard and then eventually it will be over?
Hopefully. No. Yeah, I think
Actually, that's another great business tagline. Try really hard. Eventually
it'll
it'll be over.
Does that mean at the end of your life?
Yeah.
Does that mean when does it get over? I don't know. I think, but it also depends on the person that you're training or the person coming in too. Because I think with Cameron, she was just like, give me all of it. I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah.
And I'll stumble, but then I'll get back up and I'll keep going.
Do you feel like we learned this weekend? Well, maybe not learned, but saw this weekend. She's a firstborn.
Yeah, which is
with
shocking.
2 little baby
us.
sisters, which is like, she's such a baby.
Yeah, to us. We're
To
like,
us,
oh.
we're also
Oh, you're the
old.
oldest. Yeah.
Do you feel like that's a firstborn thing, or do you feel like that's just a personality thing? Because you have 3 kids.
It might. I don't know. I think it's a little.
Do you buy
both.
into that whole
I think there's
first,
some.
middle, baby?
I think there's some to it, but there's a lot of families I know that it like debunks the whole thing. I'm like, oh, well, that's not true.
You have 2 sisters?
I have 2 older sisters.
You're the baby?
Mm-hmm.
That explains a lot, actually.
The best. Just kidding.
Do you feel like it holds true in your family?
I don't know. Not necessarily. I feel like there's things that my oldest sister does that is firstborn-ish and the middle and the baby, but I don't know that it's. I think it's a lot of personality too, or maybe we don't know. Maybe if it was all switched around.
Well, we're all like tap the potential. Shout out. That's our business coach. Use our promo code if you. Anyway, they're all about finding your ideal client and identifying that thing. But like, I wonder from a employee perspective too, if there's like certain lines we could draw of like, oh, everyone that does great is
Probably.
or in Cameron's words,
She makes a lot of noises, and now we all started making noises. Yeah, I think personality is just a huge part of it, because I'm the baby, but where's Laurie at in the mix?
I know her brother's older than her. I think
she's the baby. Yeah, she's the baby.
Is, yeah.
And we're very different in
I'm
how we do
I'm
things.
the baby, but it's only 2 kids, so I don't know if that really counts.
You would be the middle if they would have kept going.
Yeah. Well, I think that's true of everybody.
No, because if there's like 4, who's the middle?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
I feel like you would be the middle if there were 3 kids. So do you feel like the middle child?
No, I don't.
So I don't know about that, but I do think, like, I look at all of our employees and the different personalities, and there's definitely better roles for different personalities and like strengths and all of that. And that's really what they do, a lot of the people tests and people map and all the different things. And I think that's where you really grab information, be like, okay, maybe you shouldn't be in sales. You don't like people or whatever, you know.
Who does like people though, really, at the end of the day? My wife, that's about it.
I do.
Okay, you.
I like people.
Sales is different though. It's not just liking people.
No, I know. It's true. Sales, I don't know. Have you figured it out?
It's really easy.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on sales?
I don't know.
Because you were kind of in charge of sales, and then we
funny.
kind of like switched it, and kind of Aaron's in charge, but nobody really knows.
I don't know. I think we say sales, but really what we're doing, I think, is more marketing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that
Marketing.
we really, maybe a little sales in the marketing. It's really just what we're doing is just getting her in front of people, because she's awesome at talking with people.
Yeah,
Random people,
if you
strangers.
just will meet us, we'll sweep you off your feet.
Sure.
Hashtag collected living.
Hashtag collected living. No, I think sales is still something we're, trying to nail down, figure out if we're doing
We
it
should
right.
do some processes.
That's a good idea.
No, but that feels tricky.
We're working on it. We have some Tap the Potential is also helping in that area.
But what am I supposed to go knock on doors and
I don't think for our industry.
like, hey, your house looks like a dump. Do you need a renovation?
Hey, that's an idea. Maybe we should just start doing that.
We could buy billboards like, we fix dumpy houses.
We're
you
dumpy.
know those ones that are like, we'll buy ugly houses.
Yeah, but ours is dumpy.
Dumpy.
And then we have a little naked baby in a diaper.
Yes.
Okay.
Look
New
at
sales.
us.
See, Laurie doesn't need marketing. We got
House a dump. Take your first baby step with us.
Oh no, it's going the wrong direction, I think.
And the baby can have a dump in the diaper.
That's what I mean. It'd be like a full
Dumpy.
diaper. Mm-hmm. And then I got this picture of. Oh no, never mind. I won't go down that.
Okay. Yeah. That's probably good.
Yeah.
It's probably good to stop there.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the next 5 years of collected living look like? You, of the 3 owners, me, Laurie, Abby. Abby is the dreamer.
I am.
So what are we going to be in 5 years?
In 5 years, I feel like we're going to have.
Are we going to be in business in 5 years?
Yes. Yes, we will. We have been talking a lot about just becoming more of a generous business that is out for more than just making beautiful homes, but we want to be known for doing good things and helping people. And I feel like we do help people. Our clients are always happy at the end of the day, and I think we're making beautiful homes that they can make memories and all of that. But I think there's something more that we want to step into, and so I just have a feeling that in 5 years we're going to have figured out how to run smoothly, keep our team lean. I don't imagine us being 20 plus people. I feel like that then it loses kind of the small business feel. But I think, I don't know, I have a good feeling that the processes will be streamlined. My
follow-up to that is, have you ever had a bad feeling?
No.
Because
No, I do. But it always are my good feelings about our business and about our team always, I hate saying this now, but trumps the bad feelings.
Yeah, we took our positive and negative effectiveness scores, PANAS test, You were very high positive. I was very high negative.
Yeah.
Do you feel like we kind of have triple CEOs?
Yeah.
We have 3 owners. Call us what you want, but like we have 3 owners that each have the same amount of power. Nobody can make the decision without the others.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's made us better or slowed us down?
I think it's made us better. I do, because I feel like the things that I'm like, the positivity is great, and I think it's very important, but it can only get you so far. I think we have to have some of the other questions come up and like look at the negative side of things, or look at what could happen and then work through that too. So I think having 3 different perspectives has been helpful for me anyways. I know that it takes all kinds, but I feel like we really do work well with each other, and it, like, if one person's having a terrible day, or you know, it's like the other people can help lift that up. And I went to a conference with a girlfriend that she has her own, like, she's the sole owner, and we always talk about like the positives and negatives of both, but at the end of the day, she's like, so she gets to make the decisions, but at the same time she has to make all the decisions. Yeah. So it's like, it's a double-edged sword, really. So I wouldn't want it any other way, because I just feel like I like a team, and I like to be able to work through it and walk, you know, through all the different scenarios.
So when you were in school,
which
and
school?
you had to be any school,
okay,
because I feel like people don't change, and you had to be in a group project, what type of group member were you?
Oh my gosh.
Because you know there's types. You guys had to do a presentation, write a paper, and you had to work together. One person does all the work.
I don't know. It depends on the class, though, because there was like the math ones that people would just shut down if we were doing any kind of thing. So, but in like story type stuff, no, I was like the cheerleader. I'd be like, you got this. We can do it. I wasn't one to like step away and just be like, good luck. But at the same time, I didn't always have all the drive to get it done myself.
I was in engineering school, and maybe shouldn't have been, but my dad said, well, you can either go work on an assembly line the rest of your life or get an engineering degree. And I thought, well, I guess I'll get an engineering degree.
There's 2 options in life.
Although sometimes an assembly line sounds really nice.
The same thing every single day.
You know what to expect.
Yeah.
But I got in there, and engineers aren't what I would call notoriously social beings. I saw a Venn diagram one time that described an engineer, and it was 2 circles, obviously overlapping.
Yes.
One circle was bad at spelling, and the other circle was doesn't know how to talk to women. And that intersection is an engineer.
Yeah, that sounds about. I mean, I feel like accounting could be right up there.
Yeah. So I was in those classes with those people, my people.
So who are you?
So I was always the presenter of the project.
That makes sense. That tracks.
But I got to work with the smartest kids because they didn't want to present. They would rather
just do the work
and then present. So I'm like, you are so smart. I will not bother you at all.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want. I will not question a single decision. Just tell me when you're done, and I will present it to the class.
Hey, that's a win-win, I feel like.
And there was a kid named Ben, one of the smartest kids I've ever met in my life at Mizzou. And when we got our capstone projects senior year, we got assigned our groups, and we couldn't pick them. And I was always in Ben's group when we could pick them. And then I saw him in the computer lab one day, and he was like literally pulling his hair out.
Oh, no.
And I was like, what's up, man? And he was like, I hate everyone in my group. I just need people like you that just will let me do it.
Oh, that's awesome.
And not question me. And I'm like, hey, happy to play the role.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
But in our business, I'm not that. I definitely am like the negative, question everything.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you do that. But I wonder what the difference is then, because you're doing the work. Like, it's not
Well,
that
probably
you're...
next to a real like social person.
Yeah.
I'm not actually that bubbly and
Just
personable.
next to engineers.
Yeah.
You are the bubbliest of the engineers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I wouldn't call myself the most extroverted either. Like, I look at Erin, and she can literally talk to anybody. And
God
that's
bless
not,
her.
I know, thank God. And then, but I can't necessarily do that. That's not my favorite. But I will talk all day to my people, or to new people. I will meet new people.
Why don't you go talk to these people in the hallway and tell them to keep it there?
I know, kids running around. They must be off.
This is our studio / podcast studio / design showroom / presentation.
Yep. And then in the very back is where we work.
That's where the sausage is made.
Yep. It's not quite this clean.
Not quite this pretty.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, what would you what do you want the world to know? If you could have a billboard that you could put up and everybody could see it, what would you put on the billboard?
Oh gosh, it would be really long. People would have to stop and pull over.
There's
to
a
read
character
it.
limit. Hopefully it's stop and go traffic. Otherwise, you're not getting through this. Abby's so notorious.
I have so many words.
Okay, Abby, pick one word to describe how you're feeling. Well, this morning I was feeling that I... Blah, 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 blah.
It's not my strength. One thing. I really would think... I would like the world to know that collected living, like, we are personable, fun... Like, we have fun with your job. It's not going to be a situation where, see, I'm going off into a tangent.
Yeah.
But
we have fun. It's not going to be a situation where we...
if I could just do one of the ones where it just scrolls.
Oh.
And then people would just, each time they drive
then
by,
they
they
wouldn't
get like
know
a little
where
chunk.
the beginning is. They'd be like, what is this rambling
just
billboard?
all our favorite words about ourselves. But anyways, no, we work with a lot of, like, we work in a lot of really, high-end spaces and all of that, but the whole time it's fun and we're relatable and we're personable. So that feels very important to get out there. I don't know that everybody knows that, because it's hard, I think, on social media or, I don't know, on our website without being cheesy. Yeah. We're like, hey, we're fun.
Believe us, we're really fun.
Yeah. So I don't know how you would do it. I would need a person with better words for the billboard.
Yeah, you often get to a point of, I don't know. I don't have the words.
Yeah, my brain shuts down after like too much. Yeah. Laurie's like, what does that feel like?
Yeah.
For your brain to shut down. I'm like, it's not fun. Because sometimes it happens, 2:00 on a Tuesday. You're like, my brain doesn't work anymore.
What makes it shut down? Like, what is the thing that you feel like
just overthinking?
Can't handle?
Like, if I'm really working on like problem solving or doing something all day, it just gets to a point where it's like, I can't.
I love problem solving.
I know, that's why.
The other day I didn't have to. I volunteered to make a spreadsheet for Katie's uncle. He like runs a college bowl game
like bracket
contest. Yeah. And so I made this spreadsheet, and it has a leaderboard that updates based off of like the inputs on the who won and who lost, and like ranks them, and like you get like a little gold line
awesome.
if you are in first place, and then
I do love a spreadsheet.
Handles like ties and all the stuff, and of course you have to like figure all that out in Excel, and it like literally makes me giddy, like a little kid.
Well, that's good. We need to
make something work.
Think about that in our processes.
Yeah, well,
it's basically what a process is. It's just,
I think the hard part with processes is like then you have to implement it. It's like you can have the best idea in the world. Yes.
But I was talking to Lane, and she was just like, I went back to the operations manual and I reread it to make sure I was going in the right order. She said it was very helpful. For the first like month, she didn't even ask. It feels
like Elon, my hero. Go Tesla. Yeah. Elon always says manufacturing is 10,000 times harder than coming up with a prototype. And I feel like it's the same thing.
You come up with the process.
Super easy for anyone to go like, well, you should just do this. But like actually doing it, actually making that work in the business is 10,000 times harder.
Yeah. But then once you do and people see the benefit of it, they will turn back to it and continue. And we've seen that in several areas. If it's good. Yeah. We've seen that in several areas of the business with like, okay, they like crave it. You crave that. It's like the, see, now I just lost the word, but you like crave that consistency where you know it's going to happen this way for the most part every single time because we've tried it and we've done it and it's worked. So I think we just need to power through on the process. And it's so vague too. You say, oh, processes. It's like, well, what does that even mean? What does that look like? I was just talking to a business owner yesterday, and he said that in 2017 he started a new process and started a new like whole system for their business. And I think, and it took him 3 months himself to go through the process himself and to figure out how it was going to work. And then he trained it to the employees. And I think that's something we're not doing. We're like, oh, we're going to start this new thing. Everybody come up with ideas and make it work. And I feel like at that point, then there's like 8 different ways you can do it instead of just saying, okay, here's the process. We're going to do it this way. So I feel like if you can think of it like your spreadsheet and just go through it yourself without input from everybody else.
Well, that goes back though to the 3 owners, because I feel like one of the big advantages is you're able to eliminate blind spots when you have other people.
Yeah.
And so like I could come up with what I think is a great process and spend all this time perfecting it, and then I go to implement it and somebody's like, well, what about this? Yeah. And then I feel like, oh, yeah, I wasn't thinking about.
That's true. And I think with ours, there are so many facets to what we do. It's not just like one type of thing that I think that's what makes it difficult. But we'll figure it out. We're working on it.
Yeah.
We got good peeps, good teammates.
Peeps. I feel like that's a word that your kids would be embarrassed to hear you say.
Peeps.
My mom still says like, I was on the book the other day. I'm like, Mom.
On the book?
It's Facebook.
No.
Stop.
On the book.
Mom, you're so embarrassing.
Oh, I'm going to totally embarrass my kids. It's fine.
I know. Katie, after my dancing escapades at Cameron's wedding, Katie was like, oh my gosh, I just realized like our children are going to grow up with you dancing like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, they are. And be amazed.
They're going to love it until they don't. When they get into high school, it doesn't matter how you dance. And when they get into high school, they're going to think you're a nerd.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's true for you, but not me. My kids are going to think I'm so cool.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if it's going to be the balding hair or what it is, but they're going to think I'm cool.
I
all
think
right.
you're cool. I don't know.
No, I actually know some cool parents, and their kids still think they're super.
Exactly.
Lame.
It's their own. It's your own kids. It is what it is. Billy thinks it has something to do with like natural separation. Like that way. Otherwise, they'll never leave.
Yeah, and some people do never leave.
Yeah, this is true. And I don't want that.
That would be worse.
Yes, that would be worse. Think I'm a nerd. It's fine.
Yeah.
Just love me. It's good.
Yeah, just please go be a functioning adult.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like everything has kind of a not ebb and flow, but like a yin and a yang kind of. It's like, yeah, your kids may think you're the best and you're their best friend and all that thing, but then they won't make their own friends.
Right.
So it's like, which would you rather?
Right.
And the process is same thing. It's like you can have everything detailed down, and then you'll have no one that uses their brain. Or you can have everything in your brain and no one uses the process.
You need a good
but
mix.
Everything is got both sides
That's
to it.
an interesting way of putting the processes thing.
You got to do both.
You got to use your brain still. You can't just rely on the process.
I mean, I guess you could. You'd end up with what we call the federal government. Not that gives away my politics at all, but good lordy.
No.
No, I think that you probably could. We have I'm sure everybody feels this way, but like the business feels complicated because every job is different. We're not like making a widget that's the same every time.
Right.
And all we have to do is perfect that thing.
Every client's different. Their job is different. The timeline is different. Yeah. It is complicated.
So it has to be like processes, but adaptable processes.
Yeah.
And
I think it's really just a way to like everyone needs to communicate in the same way every single time. I think that's what comes back to.
Communicate and like keep records and
right.
Everything needs to be executed the same way, even if you're doing different things.
Yeah. And when you break it down to the number, like it's all different, but yeah, it's not really like there's always, not always, but there's usually a tile, like all the parts of the room are the same. Yeah. So if we could come up with a way that's like the never changing thing, and then everything else is just kind of an ebb and flow, that'd probably work. But we have to, because it was all so much in your brain, we're just now getting to where it's like, okay, every person just had to come to one person to find out the answer. And now it's like, who's that person going to be? And that's been the biggest challenge, I think, in the last couple months.
Do you like working on the business and not being that person that has all the answers all the time?
Yes.
I think I would really like it.
I love it. I love looking at our business as how can we like maintaining it and making it function well? Like that is, it doesn't stress me out.
I'm really excited about this.
What?
Like doing this podcast.
Oh, yeah, I am too.
But that's not like, I'm not getting anything done on a job site being here.
No, I feel like it's other steps though that we get to do that are not getting the job done.
I'm excited about doing it, but it's definitely not like quote unquote productive towards getting invoices.
Well, you could say the same about a lot of the things I've been working on, but
I do.
Yeah, I know.
I'm kidding.
But the last year has been, it's crazy to look at the progress we're making. And there are days when I'm like, this is my job. Like I get to do that. And that wasn't the way before.
Yeah, I need more of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think, Laurie too. Well, everyone. I feel like everyone on our team, I've heard several of them say, this is what I get to do every day.
Every time before I owned a business, I would hear business owners say like, it's just our team. We just have an incredible team. And I was always like, okay, yeah, thanks. You don't need to stroke the egos of everybody here. Right. Like, but no, we get it. We're all making you rich.
Yeah, that's
but
what's
then
happening.
you get into this position. It's like, oh no, I would just like the business wouldn't exist.
Yeah. They're great.
And we're not getting rich.
No, we're not off of their backs, that's for sure. We laugh more with our team. I belly laugh daily.
Because of the videos I show everyone. Mostly.
That's why.
Yeah. Knew it.
No, it's great. It's a great team. And it is like, I think about where we would be if we didn't have them. And like how much work we'd be doing on a daily basis. It's a different type of work.
Let's do some would you rathers.
Okay. Oh God.
And I'm going to make them specific to our business.
Okay.
Specifically around things that annoy me.
Oh no. Okay.
Would you rather? This is going to be multifaceted.
Okay.
You have to, this is not really a would you rather because it's more than one choice. But it kind of is still.
Okay.
If you had to get rid of one form of communication.
Okay.
Email, text, calling, Voxer, Marco. I think that's it.
Build book, Trello. We communicate on all of them.
Yeah. If you had to get rid of one.
Oh, Lordy.
Which would you get rid of? I'll go first. Voxer.
I know.
The messages disappear.
They disappear, and it's so funny. I've had to like train myself to not change topics in one Voxer message.
Yeah, and also like you'll go and be like, oh, I'm pretty sure they talked about that on Voxer. Well, I guess I'll be listening to Voxers for the next 45 minutes to try to find where they talked about it.
So in our business, I agree, actually. I think Voxer and Marco should not be business.
Voxer is no longer a sponsor of this podcast.
No, right? Well, I just think for business purposes, it's not where we should be communicating because there's no paper trail.
But why does everyone answer Voxers better than they answer everything
Because
else?
you're talking without interruptions.
But sometimes they'll send a text message on Voxer
Oh,
before they will send a text message
I don't know.
in text messages.
Maybe because they're just right there already. I don't know. But I actually agree with those two should just be for
Okay,
fun.
so then let's flip it. If
Okay.
you could only keep one.
Oh, that's trickier.
Mm-hmm.
I would say email because then it's like we can go back. But I also have like 30,000 emails because I don't delete any.
How many unread?
Oh, not very many.
See,
Maybe
that's not too bad.
Maybe
then.
20.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I'm keeping up. I'm doing better.
So you can have 30,000 emails as long as you've read them.
I just don't delete any old emails ever.
Who deletes emails?
Lori.
Oh my
Aaron.
gosh, Laurie. Oh.
I know. She's like, oh, I don't think I have it anymore. I deleted it. I'm
Well,
like,
I know what
"Why?"
I'm talking about. Staff meeting.
First issue. Do not delete.
You delete them because you're so worried about your space that you're taking up on Google's server?
I don't know, but it's disturbing to me to delete an email.
I mean, if it was like a letter that you had to physically find somewhere to put it, I get it.
Right.
What do you gain?
I don't know. Some of them Lori might archive. I don't know.
Okay.
But
Well,
me
we
and
can
Aaron
just
laugh about
make
it.
fun of her and act like she
Okay.
deletes them.
Okay. Just for
Lori,
fun.
can't believe you do that.
Right? No, I keep everything.
So email would be your go-to.
It would be my go-to, just because then you have that paper trail and the questions.
There's part of me that feels like it's annoying that email can take a long time,
Yeah.
like to get a response.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick one, I probably would do the same just because I'm like, I don't want to have to be called all the time for every single thing. And
Right.
you do want to have the trail of.
And if someone calls, if someone calls and you have a conversation, there's no proof what happened. Like you could forget in 5 seconds once you get off the phone.
But we end up doing BillBook, we do Trello, we do text, we do email, we do Voxer, and then
Marco,
it's
the
like,
girls do
where
Marco.
is the thing at?
Yeah.
I know we talked about it.
Yep, that's one of the processes we're going to work on.
Mm-hmm.
Communication.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
My one of my best friends growing up, Ryan, he went to a church in Colorado, and the lead pastor was an African American guy, and he would start church by saying, "Turn to your neighbor, say neighbor," which I love. That's amazing.
That's awesome.
Nobody's ever done that at my church.
No.
Our church
Our church, yeah.
and Laurie's church.
Yeah.
Shout out Liberty Christian Fellowship. Use promo code Collected Living if you come. We're getting a new worship pastor.
I heard, yes.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to start a whole new process.
Oh. We should volunteer as consultants on
Because
processes.
we're so good at implementing processes.
Honestly, it feels like that would be like the best part about being a business coach is you don't have to actually do
any of it. Just be like, do this, this.
This is what you need to do.
I can see the hole in your business.
Yeah.
Do this.
Well, even I guess as a business owner, I can't even see the hole, so it's still really valuable.
I'm starting to, as you get out of the weeds, you start to see the holes a little more clear. Well, and it helps that our business coach is telling us what those are.
Yeah.
So I can't take all the credit, but I know.
If you could do one thing differently over the past 12 months in terms of business.
Oh man, I think finding a way to like when you and I started talking about separating out your job into 3 different people or 2 different people or whatever, I wish I could have or was able to tell what that was going to look like and then get be proactive and get some of these processes down, because I don't want it to be just stressful and this crazy turnover. I want it to be fluid. And so I wish there was a better way of doing that. I'm sure there is. I just didn't know what it was. And so we don't know.
Pretty much all of my answers to all those questions on any time scale of like, what do you regret?
Yeah.
What would you do differently? Come down to like, I wish I would have thought about the fact that.
And it's like, you can't make that, distinction between like what you wish you would have known. You don't know what you don't know. But yeah.
Yeah, that's what keeps me paralyzed in crippling fear. The fear of the unknown.
Well, the other thing though, in the reno side, there's getting less and less, knock on wood, unknowns in the business. Like you've been doing the construction for long enough. Yeah, there's still some surprises once in a while, but overall there's less unknowns. You know it's coming. You know it's going to happen. It still stresses you out, but it's like, why, if we know it's coming, like let's come up with a plan every time that everybody can.
You just have to make time to make plans.
Exactly. And that's been the hard part.
And that is the motto of every small business.
How many mottos can we have? Speaking of mottos, we've been working on our mission statement. Do you remember it?
Traditional design. Non-traditional experience.
Yes. So
ding. CGI. I think all you have to do is say it, and
and it just happens, kind of like the.
Well, now, if you guys haven't seen that, the new iMessage, you just make it's FaceTime.
No, it's FaceTime. Yeah, you do this, and then Lane did this, and hearts went. Oh. I still haven't gotten mine to work, but it's cool.
Yeah.
What do you think?
What were you talking about before the mission statement?
We were talking about, I don't know, we started talking about another motto of our small business.
The motto. Yeah, it honestly feels kind of like golf. Like you feel like every time you go to the driving range, you're like, oh, I just need to keep my head down. Then you go try to do that next time, and you're like, nope. That wasn't it.
Nope. Yeah.
And so the jokes about the mottos are funny because there is an element of like, oh, we just need to make a process for this. And then you do that, and then you're like, oh, this other thing broke now.
So let's get a process for that.
So let's make a process for that. And you feel like maybe eventually there will be a point when but that all goes back to that mythical sweet spot where it's like you're not trying to grow anymore because every time you try to grow, more stuff's going to break.
Happens. But the other thing is like being okay. Like I think the biggest thing we can learn to do is to be okay in those stressful situations.
Yeah, still try to enjoy it.
Enjoy it, and just knowing it's part of it, and not letting it wreck.
See, Abby, brain. That's why you're the best.
Oh.
Because my brain would never go there.
Well, what did you say the good, like saying good anytime something crappy happens?
Yeah.
Just be like,
shout out to Jocko, fellow podcaster, if you're listening.
Surely.
Good.
Good.
Everything broke? Good. I get a chance to learn how to fix it.
Yeah. Which is why we have a failure journal.
We do have a failure journal. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Arthur Brooks, if you're listening. He just wrote a book with Oprah, so I'm sure he's listening to our podcast.
Sure. I mean, someday.
But if anyone knows Arthur, please forward this to him. Thank you. We keep our failure journal, but we're supposed to start with wins at our meetings just to set the tone.
We're supposed to.
Doesn't always happen.
No.
Sometimes our meetings get a little negative.
No, I don't know why. No. We bring it back, usually.
But sometimes you just got to say F it and just have fun with it.
Shout out to
Dr. Sabrina. Tap the potential. Promo code Collected Living. They're going to get these people calling and what we don't use promo codes.
What is the promo code for? What do you get?
I don't know. They just said to tell you promo code Collected Living. Yeah.
Yeah. F it and have fun.
We're fun. We have fun. We make
fun.
jokes.
We do.
I feel like we're a fun place to work.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it's not stressful and there's not really hard things.
Oh, all the time.
And disagreements and dropped balls
But we handle those better when we're having fun with it.
That's 100% true.
Which is not all the time, but most.
So how do you stay more in that? You have to do more trips to Dallas. Cameron has to get remarried every 3 months.
Right. I'm sure that's not stressful. We have to make time for fun. And I think Anna, that's her biggest goal. She was trying to make at least a quarterly outing. Mm-hmm. Bowling.
Yeah, but then she picked going to the art museum.
It's The food there is fantastic.
Oh, I love looking at art.
They have really good food in a little restaurant.
At the art museum?
Yeah, there's a little restaurant in the middle of it. It's so yummy.
Well, we went to Paradiso.
Paradiso?
In
It was
Dallas.
delicious.
It was real good.
We ate dinner at 8 p.m. like cool people.
Yeah, we're so cool. We should tell our kids we ate at 8 p.m.
Actually, my kids would be like, wait, what? Because we usually eat at like, I don't know, 5:30.
Early bird special.
Yeah. It's like 11 most of the time, and we're all hungry, ready to eat lunch. Mm-hmm. But it was so good.
It was good.
Anna hooked us up.
Okay, so we got to get more fun. But how do you convince yourself to do that when you're not even hitting like other goals?
Realizing
It doesn't really have to cost so much money. I guess.
No, it doesn't have to be a money thing. It just needs to be a time, carving out a little bit of time.
We should do board games.
We should. Oh, we should. We should have this thing full of board games.
Yahtzee.
That's a really good idea.
Is Yahtzee a board game or a dice game?
It's a game.
What's your favorite board game?
Probably Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry's fun.
Sorry, it's not.
Sorry, it is fun. It's a family.
I would literally, you could have given me 100 guesses. I would have never guessed Sorry.
What would you guess?
I mean, I think probably the best board game.
Oh God.
Is Life.
It's like so much thinking.
Oh, I love it.
I don't do a lot of thinking games.
I mean, like, I could also play Risk, but that takes like 8 hours.
Yeah. I also like dice games. Like, we call it Bones.
Would you rather play like Apples to Apples or some sort of like group game?
Yeah, I
that's
do.
not like a board game.
I do better with that, but I don't like any trivia. Do not give me trivia.
Oh,
I have the
Katie hates
worst.
trivia. Let me give you some top 10 Katie mishaps.
Uh-oh.
She confused Bruce Willis with Bruce Wayne, aka Batman. She confused Elton John with John Elway.
And this is why I love Katie.
So she's had some legendary ones.
We couldn't remember where. See, now I can't remember. What is it?
Ooh, Wits and Wagers. I will call that a board game, and that's my
What's
favorite.
Wits and Wagers? I don't know what that is.
You like? There's a trivia.
No.
Everyone guesses. How many people are in the world?
Yeah, no.
And then everyone guesses, and then you line out your guesses in order, smallest to biggest.
Yeah.
And then you get to bet on whose guess you think was right. So you don't have to know.
It's kind of like the dictionary one. There's one where you like write the word and then you have to write what the definition is.
Oh,
and you make it up and you guess which one's the real one and which one.
It is kind of like that. Yeah.
I'm terrible at that game. Everyone knows when it's mine.
That's
like,
how Katie
that's
is
Abby's.
Yeah. You and Katie honestly are pretty similar.
Yeah.
Both have squirrel-like attention spans.
ADHD. Love it.
But with that, it's all a yin and a yang because then you can...
Life would be very boring.
Yeah.
Without...
You can focus on a lot of things at once because you're not really focused on anything at once.
But we also have very heightened sense of like, that's why I think the culture is so important to me because I can feel all the things all the time.
Yeah. It is important. And I do think I would gladly make less money to be like really enjoying every day.
Same. Yeah.
To a point.
We got to stop somewhere. No, I think, I lost my train of thought. Squirrel.
Yeah. I just like, it's hard to keep that as a priority when you're looking at every week you look at the revenue and the profit and the bank account and the whatever, the forecasting and the jobs and all the things.
Yeah.
But you're not looking at like, and how do we feel?
Right.
It feels like fuzzy and not real.
I think.
But in some ways it's like the most impactful day-to-day thing,
because when it's not going super well, it's like it has the biggest impact. Like if people are stressed and people aren't having fun and
vice versa, like if people feel like it's great and they love to work, and
that just kind of makes life easier. It just makes it go.
I feel like you'll be more able to solve problems. You'll have like more energy to
and you want to work together more. It becomes more of a communication over let's make problem solve.
Together.
Jump up and dance. Show them a little something, something.
I didn't do that dance at the wedding.
You
Mostly
didn't.
because I don't know that song or that dance, but
No,
also
but you
the
did
song
your
didn't
signature
play.
move.
I did. I drop it low. I pick it up slow.
Yeah. Yeah, Katie said, we'll watch for the signature move.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then she looked at me and we were both like, that's the signature move.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. We got a lot of videos, so
Yeah.
follow us at Collected Living Design if you want to check those out.
Yeah. I wonder if she posted them or if she just put them in
I
stories.
don't know.
We should
We'll
post
see.
them.
But they will be gracing your screens before too long, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Just know, if you watch these videos of me dancing, I know I'm not good. I don't want anyone thinking like, oh, should we tell him? It is pure entertainment.
But it's also getting everyone out there. Like, it was so easy.
I mean, we had fun.
Oh my gosh. It was so fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was sore the next day.
Oh, I'm still sore. It's Wednesday.
Yeah.
And that was Sunday. And I'm still my legs still physically hurt.
Well, when you do the signature move.
Yeah. Well, I think what really got me was Bend Over by Lil Jon and the East Side Boys. Bend over, make your knees touch your elbows.
You did that.
Yeah, I did. And
Yeah.
wow.
Should not maybe have done
My
that.
legs are on fire.
I didn't try that one.
I had this, just saying that made me think of a camp counselor I had in 7th grade at Elbar C.
Mm-hmm.
Did you go there?
Mm-mm.
Youth for Christ or Youth Front? I don't know.
That was
One
out
of
here.
those.
It was here. Yeah. No.
Well, it's like down southeast Kansas. Anyway. This is such a stupid story.
Hell, you already started it, so you can't go back now.
But when I said my legs are on fire, it made me think of they would do like you'd go to the breakfast hall in the morning and they would try to like entertain you while they were setting the table.
Mm-hmm.
And so you would do like Father Abraham, had many sons, you know, those kind of things. And like trivia and whatever, little games. And my counselor got up there and he's like, okay, multiple choice. Why doesn't, I don't remember his name, Brian. Why doesn't Brian eat the biscuits and gravy in the cafeteria? Is it A, because he doesn't like them, or B, because they shoot through him like a laser? And that saying my legs are on fire made me think of shoot through me like a laser. It's such a disgusting description. But you know exactly what he's talking about.
So this is something that's always crazy to me. Like, how do you remember all of those stories?
Steel trap. That's why I don't want to use processes, because I've got such a good brain.
No, God, make your brain.
No,
a process.
I do feel like I am not the smartest. I definitely have met plenty of people that are way smarter than me, but I do feel like I have a pretty good memory.
Yeah, you do.
What's going to be super depressing is when I get old and I can't remember anything, because that was my only asset.
That's all you got.
I'm going to realize like,
dancing,
that was not a sustainable system at all.
I am envious of the brain. Like, I can't remember. That's why I live by processes, because I write everything down.
Well, but that's like, you know, when you have people that learn how to study in high school, they do better in college. But then people that never had to study in high school go to college, and they're like,
oh, yeah,
that was me.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's not a good life skill. Like, you get kind of stunted by your own.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
Because you don't learn how to work hard.
You don't, but you remember things.
In life, you have to work hard.
Right.
And you have to be disciplined and have processes.
And you've never had to have processes.
Or your like ceiling is lower.
Yeah.
Like, I may have a natural memory that's better than your memory, but your memory with processes in place is way better than my natural memory.
Because I can go back and look. Yeah, that's true. Okay, that's a good way of looking at it.
So, you're welcome.
Yeah. My broken brain is helpful.
You're so pathetic that
You're making our business better. I just understand, like, if any of our team members ever don't remember things like you guys, like you and Laurie she has a really good memory too. Like, I get it. I empathize with them. I'm like, we got to process for you, honey. Like, it's okay. You don't have to remember all of that stuff. Like, let's go here and look at it. So I think that is helpful, because it sucks to feel like you can't remember things.
That's true.
Yeah.
Or so I've heard.
Well, that's why I use so many words, because I'm like, I know there's one word that's better for all these words, but I can't remember it. So I'm just going to go around all the words until I get to my point.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't even get there. It's fine.
I would say 1 in 5 boxers from you ends in, I don't even know what I was saying. Which is not a great percentage.
No, it's not.
And the longer it goes on, the more likely it's going to end up there. But that's just your brain.
This is my brain. It helps that you're married to one.
Yeah.
Because then you have...
# used to it. So, thanks, Katie.
No.
Or I guess you should be thanking Katie.
I should be thanking Katie, for sure. Because I definitely feel
Sometimes I'll be talking to Katie just in a one-on-one conversation, looking right into her eyes. And then she'll stop me and go, hold on, can you say that again? And I'll say, what part? And she'll say, all of it. The whole thing. I know I was looking at you, but I didn't hear a word you just said.
Lord, I have to pinch myself to make myself focus.
But I would rather her do that than act like she heard me and
then just walk away.
Yeah.
Be like, yeah.
Because then later with my great memory, I'll say, I told you about that. And she'll say, you did not.
Yeah, so. That's awesome. Yes, thanks, Katie.
Katie's the best.
Yeah, she really is. We had fun.
If you think Katie's the best too, check out Katie Raines Real Estate. # or promo code Collected Living.
Hey, she showed me lots of houses, and I never pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
So someday I will.
Well, we like houses because we do this for a living. We obviously like houses. We saw some beautiful houses in Dallas.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we went on what she called a mansion walk with coffee. It was really fun.
Yeah. Thanks,
well,
Anna.
and that was part of going and looking at some of the houses with Katie. She was like, you probably aren't going to like it. It's probably too small, but let's go look at it. I haven't seen it yet. We all want to see all the different houses that are available. So, which there's some cute ones in Liberty.
Well, houses are great. They're fun. They're even better when you make them pretty. So
give us
a call if you need help.
Yeah.
We'll be really fun throughout the whole process. Abby especially.
Me especially. Thanks.
So, anything else you want to tell the viewers? The fans?
The viewers? All 2 of them? Yeah. No. I think that's everything.
Okay. Well, we'll be back next week with another.
Okay.
Maybe Abby will be back. Maybe she'll never get to come on again. I don't know.
We'll
I'm the host. I'll decide.
We'll rewatch the tape and see. No, we want to have all 3 of us at some point.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Well, that's all, folks.
Okay. Thanks. That was fun.
Bye.
Bye.